Welcome back to Nick Landis Comic Corner Classics / Young Classics. This is episode number 1504 and Doubleshot number 1398. Now we're discussing the first two trades of the series, Green Lantern, New Guardians. No, this is not the series that Linkara has been sporadically talking about on his channel, where it featured the original Guardians that started up after the events of Millennium. No. This is a relaunch. This is basically a rebooted version of a group of characters who call themselves New Guardians that first appeared in Blackest Night. That made up of all the Lantern Corps. The Green Lantern Corps was represented by Hal Jordan, Sinestro Corps, obviously Sinestro. We also have our, I think it was also Atrocitus, and I think St. Walker was on this team too. Let's see. The group is made up of Hal Jordan, Atrocitus, Indigo One, Sinestro, Larfleeze, St. Walker, and Carol Ferris. Of these people, two actually survived the relaunch. Yes, and this group was only around just in the pages of Green Lantern, just prior to the events of Rebirth. Now, this group is comprised of, on the cover, it is they're not called New Guardians. Not really, no. This one's comprised of Larfleeze, St. Walker, the holdover from the previous group. Now, Atrocitus is replaced by how do you pronounce her name? I know it begins with B. Is that Basil? It is Bleeze. Yeah, Bleeze. Yep, Bleeze. Sinestro is replaced by his Lieutenant Arkello. Indigo One is replaced by somebody else. Yeah, they replaced him with a different person. It's not this one. No. It is Mook. Yes, and of course Larfleeze. And they replaced Kara Ferris with Fatality, though Kara Ferris did come to the series later. Yeah, believe it or not, this is the first appearance of the relaunched version of Fatality. She was actually a creation of Ron Martz. First appeared in issue 83 of Green Lantern Volume 3. And she had a lot different appearance. Yeah, her outfit was a lot more revealing pre-Flashpoint. And her last appearance was in the Larfleeze Christmas special that came out 10 years ago. Her current look is that she's a very bloody woman. Yeah. This was technically her first post-Flash appearance in the start of the series. She wasn't the only one. Oh no. I believe Bleeze, this was also her first appearance, along with Arkello and Mook. I believe so. Actually, no. Bleeze actually made her first appearance in Red Lanterns. Yes. Arkello, for him it was this series. He's actually a Jeff Johns character, believe it or not. As for Mook, who's representative of the Indigo tribe, his first appearance in this era. Well, actually, he's kind of a continuation of the pre-Flashpoint version. So, even though, yes, this was technically his first post-Flash appearance, mostly anyways. But he didn't really do a lot. No, not really. Not really. Though, the first issue, in a way, also kind of has, well, even though, yes, it's also first post-Flash appearance of Kyle Rayner, we also kind of do a partial retelling of how he first got the Green Lantern ring. Now, in both pre-Flashpoint and post-Flashpoint, Ganthet gave him his ring. Though the story is told differently, but that part of his backstory, that part of stuff canon in both versions. Though the reason he did in pre-Flashpoint is because he was the last of the Guardians left alive, due to the fact that Hal Jordan went nuts and killed the members of the Green Lantern Corps. So here he's a cartoon, or he's basically an artist, still like he was in pre-Flashpoint. They changed Like, basically, post-Flashpoint, he didn't really change very much at all. And his personality remained virtually intact. He was actually one of the very few characters. They didn't change all that much. No, not really, which is kind of interesting. And he's a creation of Ron Martz, believe it or not. Yes, just like, well, Fatality. Yep, both creations of Ron Martz. And Kyle Rayner himself would actually stay with the series the entire time. He is by far the only character to appear in all 40 issues of the series. Yeah, he is the only one. And you're thinking, really? Yes, really. He only appears just in these first 4 issues. Like, he appears in the entire run. He is the only character who does. You can kind of say this is definitely his series. Yes, you could definitely say so about that. Now, this series was meant to be a replacement for Green Lantern Emerald Warriors, a series focused on Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner is back in the main Green Lantern Corps series, will also appear this time, appearing in the pages of Justice League International. The most they put for this first story arc called Ring Break Bearer. This book is written by Tony Bedard and artwork by Tyler Kirkham, with, of course, Bat as in Matt Bat. Yes. Now, do they change artists by the time... Do they change writers by the time the first crossover starts up? No. I don't think they changed the writer of this book until... Let's see. Well, not until after the second crossover, Wrath of the First Lantern. So he's here for most of this period of time. So yeah, first 20 issues he is the writer. Now, the story of this one is that we have various members of these corps having the rings, like, leaving them, and some of them actually die. And all these Lantern Corps members, with the exception of St. Walker, are trying to find out who is taking away these rings. And this is so bizarre, to say the least, of what happens in this story arc here. Where, basically, all the rings go straight to Kyle Rayner for some reason. Oh, by the way, here's Fatality in her first post-Flash appearance. I mean, she still shows us some skin, but she's a little more conservative about her appearance than she was pre-Flashpoint. Oh yeah, one thing that they did change about Kyle Rayner is his hair. And his mask is a little bigger. But appearance-wise, yeah, his outfit didn't really change all that much. I mean, color scheme-wise and design, it looks virtually the same. Not really much change for him. No, not really. I think originally at first he did wear the same style outfit that Hal Jordan wore. And then later on he changed it to a little more like a silverish look. But here, it's the same design, just to change the color scheme. Yep. Oh, and by the way, there's an actual page in here where it's a nod to, like, pre-Flashpoint Hal Jordan when he's, well, Parallax. Yep. I mean, look at this panel here. Him with all those lantern rings. Yes. Going from left to right. On his what looks like to be his right hand. On his index finger is a Sinestro Corps ring. On the middle finger, Green Lantern. For his ring finger on his right hand, it's a Blue Lantern. For right pinky, it's Orange Lantern. On left ring finger, it's red, which is basically Rage. On the left middle finger, it's the Indigo ring. And on the last finger, it's the Star Sapphire ring. And then he becomes this. Yes, in case you're curious though, this actually is the start of laying the groundwork for him becoming a White Lantern. No, seriously, this is laying the groundwork for that. And, well, he is like this throughout this first story arc. It is really freaking good. I thoroughly enjoy this. Also, oh boy, the way that, well, Gantha is in the story arc. Plus, I love it when Lark Flea shows up. You're all mine. Yep, because he's here with Sarnak, who is supposedly, I think she's supposed to be like Gantha's like girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and also Gantha in these first 12 issues has been lobotomized by the Guardians. Oh yeah, they lobotomized him because, oh, we don't like emotions, so let's make him emotional. Let's make him basically like a freaking robot. Yep. And they say, oh yeah, Oa's banned, and of course then we have Bleeze going back to seeing Atrocitus where she starts acting weird. And here's the thing about the artwork. Like, the artwork loves showing up this woman's rear end. They love it. And then he's basically like, I don't like your the way you're talking is kind of odd. So shove her face in a pool in basically a pool of blood. It will to calm her nerves. Yeah, seriously. Now, a lot of the time, yeah, apparently Tyler Kirkham, if I get a chance, I'm going to talk about this when I get a chance to see him, provided the fact he doesn't cancel like some of the artists, people I've heard of. I'm going to ask him, like, why was it when he drew Green Lantern New Guardians, like, what was your obsession with showing off Bleeze's rear end? Like, every time she shows up, you got to show off her rear end. We also have a potential guy who's responsible for this. His name is Amphicius. Mm-hmm. And he's only in just in these opening issues. And then he's never seen again. Yeah, the first 12 issues. He's pretty much kind of responsible for, like, why Hal Jordan basically was attracted to all these lantern rings. Mm-hmm. Even though that the whole thing with Tyler Kirkham show up, Bleezes were in, becomes a problem in later issues, but yeah. He basically liked doing that for some reason. Yep. And of course, these new Guardians fight him for these issues here. And look, here's your first instance of showing up Bleez's rear end. Yep. They fight this guy. And you think that was over yet? Nope, not over yet. Come on. No. Yeah, we're continuing with Beyond Hope. This is actually in Volume 2. And this is where this becomes more prevalent of... Now, the writing is still done by Tony Bedard, artworks by Tyler Kirkham, Marco Turcaria, Thomas Guerrillo, and of course, Bat as the inker. The cover is done by Tyler Kirkham, Bat, and Neil Rafio. This book collected issues 8 through 12, and believe it or not, Blue Beetle Volume 3, Issue 9. Yeah, they had this weird thing in like 2012. We have to have, anytime book issue 9, we gotta have a crossover. I will give my rating for these two trades once I finish up with this one. So, we have a guy potentially recruited for this joining the Sinestro Corps. And here we go, another instance of showing up Bleez's rear end, and of course do the boo butt pose. Yep. I mean, this is something you see very rarely nowadays. Lots of fighting, action. We see the weapon is a cord here, who makes our kill a new ring and a new power battery. And then we cut straight to Blue Beetle. Now, at the time, Tony Bedard was the writer of Blue Beetle at this point in time. And Marco Taraka is the artist of this book, because they show up completely out of nowhere. If you read this in the trade, if you don't have like the issue number 8 of Blue Beetle, you're probably like, wait, what the heck is going on here? Like, why don't they have the issue where this picks up from? No, it's not that one. Yeah, for some reason the Wiki site they list as volume 8. Yeah, the trade itself they include the actual finale of the previous issue in here for some reason. So they have the reason why they go to Earth because of the Green Lantern Corps being old enemies of well the Reach. And there's this weird moment that happens in the book where Bleeze gets on top of Blue Beetle and like wow, it's almost like she's gonna do something really sexual with him based on this pose, despite the fact she's spitting out blood out of her mouth. And I'm thinking, if I'm Jaime Reyes and I have Bleeze, and I'm like, damn, I have a hot alien woman on top of me. Yeah. Like, it is surprising he developed the hots for Bleeze. I mean, the only guy probably who actually did with Bleeze was Guy Gardner. No, seriously, he's like the only guy who did it with her. Yep. And she says, tell me this, little man. Who's receive you from me now? Yeah, and of course it cuts to what stuff related to the Green Lantern book. And then, of course, where he's like, wait. Did you see what just happened to Green Lantern? You happened. No, something hit him. Something shot off his ring. And Sue's like, projectile. Draining charge. Draining charge. And you have potentially like someone else, please no, you didn't do it. Who you work up? And of course the thing, I'm not aroused. Yeah, he says, step hooks, I'm not aroused. And she's like, what did you just say? It's the armor. Yeah, the armor think he's aroused and seeing Bleeze who is hot. I mean, any guy who'd be near Bleeze like, I want a piece of that. Yeah, because she's hot. Yep. And then we have some random alien guy show up, and of course stuff related to Blue Beetle stuff. And yeah, apparently Bleeze has got sort of a minor obsession with him. Yep. And apparently he tries to reveal who he really is. And of course, mentioned about the Reach, he has no idea what the Reach is. This is not pre-Flashpoint Jaime Reyes, so he doesn't know what's going on. And of course, Bleeze still probably wants to do with him, despite the fact Jaime is a teenager. She's probably in her 20s. Yep. It's a very excellent standalone issue, and I'm kind of glad they threw it in. I kind of wish they threw in that last page of issue 8, and it cut right back to this book now. Apparently I think this issue is supposed to be number 10, I believe it is. Walt Bernard is one of 2 artists who does this issue. He basically does the first 9 pages of this issue, along with 12 to 15 and 17 to 20. Thomas Guerrero does the rest of the issues. And we have the Blue Lantern Corps showing up and dealing with, Reach stuff. Yeah, we deal with the Reach for an issue. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we have a Reach member the Reach are going after the Blue Lantern Corps, which is what they had reason why that the Guardians to leave Earth because of Reach going after the Blue Lanterns. So a big epic battle with them, and they end up saving the Blue Lantern Corps. Yep. Yeah, basically Mook trying to basically do something with Bleeze. You have stuff. Pretty much the next issue is focus on the orange. Focus on ancient Larfleeze. Yep, and then pretty much the finale. Of course, Tyler Corkham is the artist. Of course, he confronts So apparently, the person who turned Ganthet into Darth Vader was, in fact, Serac. Yep, she was responsible for it because they think it grew weak or whatever. Mm-hmm. After defeating their villain who popped up throughout this whole rest of this little run here, then of course everybody walks away, and that's the end of the New Guardians. Well, this version, anyways, because they replaced it with issue 0. Yeah, with issue number 0, they replaced the lineup. Yeah, with the very next issue, issue 13, they pretty much replaced the lineup. Well, not entirely per se, no. Basically, because that version of Guardians disbanded, they had to bring in, well, Carol Ferris. Mm-hmm. And you have Kyle Rayner and Carol Ferris become basically a pair for a lot of these issues. Mm-hmm. Oh, and here's the thing. What happened with Kyle Rayner's girlfriend that had pre-Flashpoint? Still canon. They kept that canon in this current continuity. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as I can tell from issue 13 forward, I believe, yeah, Kara Ferris is pretty much in the rest of the series, and she appears in both annuals that the series had. Mm-hmm. Yeah, only had 2, surprisingly. Mm-hmm. And I'll probably discuss it in later on in the future for these stuff. I give these 2 trades roughly a 9.5 out of 10. They're both really good, and it feels as though when you read both trades, they feel like a complete story arc. And it feels like it's cut off half in the middle. That's what it seems like to me. Yep. So yeah, that's a particular review. Stay tuned soon to be today, hopefully. We'll discuss the newest episodes of How Realistic Rebuild the Kingdom, Case of Atlantis, and Case Closed. Okay, next video. Bye.